I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713 through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key at Onyx, find a rider. I get those goosebumps every time. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent day today. Bitcoin broke above $50,000. We are holding above $50,000 today. This was the breakout that we were talking about. In fact, in my video 2 days ago, you can see right here, we had the dip, and I told you guys it was a fake out and that big money was about to pump the Bitcoin price. So in today's video, I am going to show you the fact that we are in a parabolic move. The parabolic move is in fact confirmed. I want to show you my exact target that I'm looking for. Yes, I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin in the short to midterm and long term. I guess I'm just bullish on Bitcoin in general, but I do want to talk about what is happening today because we are seeing banks, we are seeing businesses getting involved in Bitcoin. This could just be the tip of the iceberg of the beginning of a massive super cycle. And I want to tell you why this trend is going to continue. So if that sounds good to you, we're going to be super quick today. Like I said, I want to show you my exact short-term target for Bitcoin. We did break out as predicted. You can see right here, we were looking at this ascending wedge. So basically in a nutshell, guys, this is so easy to trade these patterns. Now, even ascending wedges for, Bitcoin, they always end up being bullish when we're in a bull trend. And all you have to do is simply long the dips and sell the resistances. It is an incredibly easy strategy. You could see that I've actually been able to make extreme amounts of money basically trading this right here. I just closed this one out this morning. You could see I bought in at, or I longed at 48,763 and I exited at 5170. Now, why did I pick these two levels? Well, you could see right here, this is where we had the dip right here around 48. I knew we were in this ascending channel. And as soon as we got above the resistance, I sold. Now, some people might be saying, well, why don't you just hold on to your longs? Well, because if the price comes back down, I can long again and long again and long again. Instead of just staying in the same trade, then you're kind of stuck with just that trade. I mean, you can even see the other one that I did below it, 45,005 to 48. If we look back here, that was right here at the beginning where we had this nice structure where we were going upwards right around 48 right here. And then once we got the pump, sold the resistance. So if you guys are interested in trying to learn how to do this, I do have tutorials. Bybit is where I like to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can check that out. Popping up above. Also, links below in the description. Another place that people also like to trade is over on Femex. Now, Femex, they do offer a lot of altcoins if you're interested in trading altcoins. They also have a $600 bonus. If you use the link below in the description, you can actually get a $680 bonus. So check that out if you guys want. Tutorial popping up above. And also, before we get into the main part of the video, I just want to say there are a lot of people that, they just come, they watch the intro and they sort of leave. But there is so much valuable information if you guys actually watch to the end of the videos. I always let you know about altcoins, for example. Look, guys, leverage trading isn't for everyone. It's very risky. It's very dangerous for beginners. I do recommend dollar cost averaging, but you can also just buy and hold. And I try to tell you guys about projects that I'm looking at. This was on February 5th, and I told you guys about Prometheus. I had a feeling that they were going to be moving soon. They have a lot of things in the pipeline. These guys have had their heads down. They've been building, and today we went from a $4.39 price to a $27.87 price. So yeah, we did a 5x since I put that video out. So definitely make sure you guys stick around to the end of the videos. Lots of valuable content. Links below in the description. Thank you so much. Now that we got that out of the way, because I just had to say that because so many people just don't stay to the end of the videos and lots of valuable content. But anyway, having a look, let's get back to Bitcoin. That was a lot of stuff I had to just get out in the beginning of the video. So you can see right here, we have had some incredibly bullish moves for Bitcoin over on the CME futures. Not only are we sitting above the VPVR at 47,925, but you can see right here, we had two beautiful days of wicks directly off the previous support. This is incredibly bullish, not to mention the fact that we've woken up to yet another massive green candle. And you can see right here, guys, we were talking about this ascending wedge. We needed to break above this critical level. This was the area to put in the long. And as you can see, we broke above, and it does look like we're coming back down to retest the previous resistance as support, which would be a combination of the $50,000 level as well as this trend right here, which is exactly why I would consider putting in potentially another long again once we get down to those levels. Not financial advice. Don't do it just because it's what I'm doing, but guys, everything on this channel is absolutely for free. There's some people out there that they literally charge money for this information. I'm just doing this every day for free. So if you like this kind of content, smash the likes, get subscribed. But let's talk about the Bitcoin story, as Gordon Gecko mentions. He says 50K story is now history. Looking at the next price target of $100,000. When will it happen? Well, if we base it on the 2016 halving scenario, in the basis 2016 scenario, it was September 18, 2021. Counting from today, we should hit $100,000 Bitcoin by March 26th of this year. So we are literally talking about a month away. We could see the Bitcoin price literally double. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this is why, Peter Brandt discusses the fact that we are in a parabolic advance. He says this is the third parabolic advance that Bitcoin has had in its last decade. A parabolic advance on an arithmetic scale is extremely rare. Logarithmic, I think, is what he's referring to. He says, he's extremely rare. He says 3 on a log scale is historic. So, sorry, I'm new school. I call it linear, but essentially, yeah, this is incredible. Bitcoin has had 3 of these on a log scale in a decade. Oh, and if you want to know the price target for the short term, very, very simple, guys. As you can see right here, you take the flagpole right up to the top and you put it at the point of the breakout. And if we do that, that is giving us a price target of about $58,800 for Bitcoin. So I would anticipate that regardless of what happens in the immediate short term, we are going to at least hit the $58,000 level before having any major crash, okay? Now, I did speak about retesting some of the lower levels possibly. Where is the chart here? We could come down, into this blue zone territory. I still think this is a very, very strong area of support. I definitely have some buys and longs loaded up in this area just in case we have a quick wick, but I do not anticipate us staying there long. So even if we have another fake out crash like we had, guys, we know the trend is your friend until the end, and this trend is continuing to go up and up and up. And like I showed you guys, we're having Bitcoin price skyrocketing, and we're having the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges fall. This is a supply crisis, and we're seeing lots of demand from institutions, but there's not enough Bitcoin coming out to satisfy this demand. I mean, even Peter Schiff, who's probably arguably the most notorious Bitcoin bear, he says now that Bitcoin has hit 50,000, I must admit that a move up to 100,000 can't be ruled out. However, a move down to 0 can't be ruled out either. Figures he'd had to throw that in there. While a temporary move up to 100K is possible, a permanent move down to 0 is inevitable. If you don't want to gamble, buy gold. Well, let's actually see how gold is doing. Interestingly enough, Bitcoin has actually been eating away at the gold market cap. We have actually seen some of these gold bugs actually shifting part of their portfolio into Bitcoin. Oh, and fun fact, right here where gold peaked was exactly where Microstrategy started buying their Bitcoin. Since then, gold has dropped $1,800, and well, I don't have to tell you where Bitcoin is. We broke $50,000. So which side of the trade do you want to be on? Well, speaking of a being on the right side of the trade, we have Microstrategy, who changed their $600 million to $900 million more worth of debt to get even more Bitcoin. According to this release they just put out, they're going to issue convertible notes that will mature on February 15th, 2027. So they just upped it by another $300 million. The notes will be sold in a private offering to qualified institutional and buyers. Moreover, the company could add $150 million on top of that if its initial purchasers opt to get an additional amount of these notes, which is absolutely incredible. And you have to ask yourself, when are other companies going to start adopting this? I mean, literally, like Pomp said, MicroStrategy is borrowing $900 million at 0% to buy more Bitcoin. You're telling me that every CFO isn't asking themselves, why don't we do that? Gradually, then suddenly. And I like what Alex Morgan said down here. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but it seems obvious. Michael Saylor spoke to a dozen CEOs about them buying Bitcoin, then borrowed a ton of money to buy more himself. It's obvious he knows who will be buying in and wants to get in first. I do too. Buying more today. And I buy Bitcoin every single day for the most part, or I do put in those longs, but nevertheless, guys, I dollar cost, I accumulate. I have no interest in selling Bitcoin at 50,000. Not really much interest either at 100,000. Maybe I'll consider maybe selling a fraction, but I mean, guys, I am in it for the long haul when it comes to Bitcoin. And like Pomp pointed out, Wall Street got front run by retail investors when it comes to Bitcoin. If it will keep happening too, as long as Wall Street arrogantly believes they're the smartest people in the room, right? We saw it with Wall Street bets. We've seen it with, I guess you could say, Dogecoin, even though we all know Dogecoin is a meme. But yeah, Bitcoin, the institutions are late, and they're the guys who are going to be FOMOing in at 50, 100, 250, and inevitably $1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, look, the data says a pretty compelling story that two things are true. One is, I think this data is back in December, over 65,000 digital wallets hold more than $1 million worth of Bitcoin. And so this is much more kind of democratized than people, I think, give it credit for. And the second thing is, if you go back to March 2020, when there was a 50% drawdown, what we see is the holders are actually accumulating more Bitcoin. So the strong hands are actually accumulating more and more. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, there are for sure people who have very, very big wallets. But when you start talking about tens of thousands of people who have, $1 million, when you kind of spread it out, you say, how many have 0.1 Bitcoin, right? That's starting to be a pretty meaningful US dollar value. And so I think that what we're starting to see here is that this is a fully democratized system. It's a decentralized system. People around the world are using it. In countries where it's being banned, adoption is going up, right? There's no whales that are sitting there in Pakistan or Nigeria or India. These are people who are literally saying the current system does not work for me. I need a new system. And what they're doing is they're finding an ability to do that on peer-to-peer exchanges. And I think that's the story here, is that this is much more about the everyday person. Wall Street got front run. Retail front ran Wall Street, and now they're coming in and they're having to buy $50,000 Bitcoin when retail was buying $10,000 Bitcoin and lower.
Well, that's sort of what I always saw as sort of the similarities between what we have been seeing with Bitcoin and what we've seen with the so-called Reddit rebellion is that, the retail investor, the little guy, sort of saw the bigger picture story, stuck with it, and then Wall Street caught on. Brian Kelly, though, we mentioned Tesla, and the reason why Tesla put it on the balance sheet is because they're looking forward to the day when customers want to buy cars with Bitcoin. That was the impetus. That's why Tesla has it where it has it on the balance sheet. It's not a cash equivalent. It's because they believe customers will want to transact. Won't we need to see that in order for more S&P 500 companies to adopt Bitcoin? It seems that not many are looking at Bitcoin right now at this point in time as a store of value. It's the question of whether customers will transact. And for that reason, some companies have already said, no, we're not looking at that because we don't see that demand yet.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a really great point on Tesla. Everybody got very excited that Tesla put it on the balance sheet. But to me, the revolution there, or the revelation, was that Tesla said, hey, we're going to accept this at some point in time. And then a week later, MasterCard comes out and says, hey, we're going to allow our merchants to accept or be able to transact in Bitcoin. This is the transition in the life cycle. We are in the digital gold commodity era. But those type of announcements move us towards the currency side where you do get more corporate adoption. The volatility will go down. We won't have these massive boom and bust cycles. Perhaps, and I don't know, but perhaps this is the last boom and bust cycle. But it's really important in the growth of Bitcoin as a currency to see Tesla, to see MasterCard and other companies follow suit to say, you know what, at some point in time, we think not only is this going to be a transactional currency, but we might actually use it in our supply chain as we are global because it's a lot more efficient. That's the next phase of this rally, that, or at least the next phase that Bitcoin will go through.
Joining the list of companies putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, we have Symbiotic SE, a German cannabis company that has announced that it's following the lead of companies like Microstrategy and Tesla in shifting part of its liquid cash holdings into Bitcoin. So they updated this on their website, and they said that the move was spurred by legitimate concern about a massive devaluation of fiat money, right? Now, this is talking over in Germany with Europe, but it's obviously happening in the US. We're having massive stimulus, more plans for stimulus, potentially more plans for helicopter money, trillions of dollars, which is an unfathomable amount, really, if you actually try to think of a trillion. Somebody online, they did a difference of how many seconds, a million versus a billion versus a trillion. It's incredible. Google it, check it out. But they went on further to say that the decision was not driven by recent price appreciation, but that they have long-term confidence in Bitcoin well over euros or dollars. They went on to say that the cannabis industry actually has had very positive experiences with Bitcoin and digital means of payments. Oh, and it's not just companies, it's banks as well. We have seen BNY Mellon. Now we've seen the world's oldest central bank extending digital currency test until 2022. That's right, Sweden's Riksbank said it would continue work with Accenture on potential e-krona digital currency until next year. And also, according to a report from British crypto firm Elliptic, global banking institutions have been expressing more interest in Bitcoin as Bitcoin consistently breaks new all-time highs. Now, keep in mind, you think to yourself like, oh, the price is going up. This isn't the time to buy. That's the wrong way of thinking. It's actually safer for these guys to buy when they know it's in an uptrend, when they know it's legitimate, when they see the overall valuation. Tom Robinson, the co-founder, noted a wave of Bitcoin-associated demand from United States-based banking institutions over just the past 2 months. According to Robinson, several financial institutions in the U.S. are seriously considering launching some type of cryptocurrency service. The growing Bitcoin trend among traditional financial institutions is natural and surging adoption, and they say it was logical for banks to begin opening up to digital currencies in a similar way to crypto exchanges in order to keep up with the current demand, as well as millennials and Generation Z. The times are changing. Everything is digital. We all have cell phones, right? Our cars are electric. They're digital. I mean, everything is digital. You go to the restaurant, you see toddlers playing on their iPads. You have people, playing Fortnite. You have V-Bucks, digital games, digital items, NFTs. The world is going digital. Why wouldn't our money follow path? Gold, although is a great store of value, is somewhat prehistoric now in modern days. Trying to send a bar of gold from one side of the earth to the other is ridiculously costly and actually just makes no damn sense when it comes to how easy it is to send large quantities, billions even, of dollars of Bitcoin for dollars in minutes. I mean, it's a no-brainer here, and finally you are seeing the world wake up to it. Now, I always like to end on a little bit of, altcoins. Today specifically, I don't have a specific altcoin, but I do want to just let you guys know that I do tend to find them. When I do, I usually have them towards the end of the video, so make sure you check. But I do want to point out the fact that if we do have this Bitcoin dominance start to rise, you can see right now we're sitting at around the 63% level. If we do break above 67%, we could see altcoins start to bleed. Now, Ethereum actually had a rejection exactly, once again, guys, I actually had I don't have it pulled up right now, but I also had a trade down here. We made a beautiful Ethereum trade. Once again, just longing the resistance and support to resistance. And like I said, guys, please check out the tutorials below. If you don't know how to do this, in combination with how to do that, plus watching these videos, I pretty much give this information out for free. I don't even change my charts. I use almost the same chart for weeks until the structure changes, and then I usually draw a new one. I haven't changed these levels in quite a long time, and you can see right here, beautiful opportunity for a long. Beautiful opportunity for a long. And look at here, resistance, close, close the long, close the long. I don't short, I'm sorry, I'm not going to short in a bull trend, but I will buy the long. So having a look right here, Ethereum is looking like it is about to break out of this level. And if we do see a daily candle close, I would say about above the $18.25 level, then I would say Ethereum is 100% going to 1951, and that would be the next resistance where I would be cautious that if you are longing, I would look to close there. Once again, nothing on this channel is financial advice. It's just what I do. This is how I play the markets, guys, but that is that below, and I want to end on some big news, okay? I actually have a lot of friends in Dubai who have moved to Dubai because it actually is a very crypto-friendly place. I've considered, but I don't know, it's hard for me. I do hate New York when it comes to the regulations out here, but I have a lot of family out here. Plus I do like the four seasons. I like New York. We have beautiful falls up here. But yeah, long story short, I have actually multiple occasions considered Dubai, and now you can see Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are now a mode of payment at the UAE government entities, as well as KickLab, a Dubai-based free zone, confirming it will accept these transactions. This will apply for all payments related to trade licenses and visa fees issued by it. Apart from Bitcoin, it will also accept Ethereum and Tether. So this is massive, guys. We are literally having a Dubai free zone starting accepting Bitcoin. We've seen the progress over in Malta. We've seen the progress over in Switzerland, and it's only a matter of time until the end result, which is hyper Bitcoinization, takes over the entire planet. And while I don't actually think that technically all fiat currencies will actually die, I do think that Bitcoin is inevitably going to become the global standard, the global unit of account. And eventually the volatility will calm down, but I think within the next decade, we're going to see a $500,000 to $1 million Bitcoin. I think it's inevitable. And in our lifetime, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin hit 5 million to even 10 million, because when you just consider the limited amount of 21 million Bitcoin versus the endless fiat printing, it is an absolute no-brainer. And one other thing I want to say before I go is I have seen a lot of older crypto OGs kind of making fun of these newbies, because they bought in first. I don't agree with that kind of behavior. It's not fair to be like, well, I got in before you did, so you're stupid and I'm smart. No, but I will say one thing. Today, as of this moment right now, Bitcoin making history, hitting $50,000. There is nobody on planet Earth that can say that they haven't heard of Bitcoin or they don't know what Bitcoin is. So I would honestly say that if you are not, or if somebody or people, whoever, are not buying Bitcoin now, after seeing all of this bullishness and truly understanding it, then I have to say it's 100% your fault. Because, I don't know what more you guys need to, realize that Bitcoin is the sort of solution that the financial system has been looking for all these years. Gold had its place for 5,000 years, but now it is Bitcoin's turn for the spotlight. So that's it for me today. Thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. You are a trooper. Smash the like. Drop me a comment. I love to hear from you guys below. Check out the free Telegram group in the description. If you haven't checked out my tutorials for Bybit, for Femex, they're popping up right here, right now. That's it for me. You guys rock. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.